This is pretty powerful where I am right now. I'm in a park in Gympie, where I spent a couple of days here about 8 months ago in a broken down car doing nothing but smoking meth. It's pretty awesome. I'm parked the car in the exact same spot. Pretty awesome to be here under completely different circumstances. I've got a pretty hat on, I've got a pretty shirt on, I'm getting fancy, I've got a lapel mic here. Oof, going up market here. This episode is to my family. I've recently called out a brother of mine who we went away together. He took me away to the Bunya Mountains to help me get clean about 3 years ago. And on the last night we were out there, we made a pact together that I'd stay off the meth and he would get clean. I'd stay off the meth, and he would get healthy. I stayed off the meth for 12 months and he was healthy for the time it took us to drive back to Brisbane from the Bunya Mountains. A couple of days later, it absolutely broke my heart to be in his house and see the abundance of chocolate, sugar, soft drink, chips, lollies that he said he was going to get healthy from. Now, I've tried to speak to him about that. He said he's not interested in talking to me. So I sent him a couple of messages going, hey, you're an obese hypocrite. That's the sort of tough love he delivered to me when he called me a meth-addled junkie. He was my savior from addiction. I will no longer take his advice because he's a preacher. He has not walked the walk of getting out of addiction. He lasted a day. He was massive to me though, because he was a big step. Those weeks we spent away, that was a big step for me to exit addiction. Exit addiction. But now that I've turned around on him and gone, I was a meth addict for 2 years, you've been a sugar junkie for nearly 30 years, he's called me a tosser and he's told me we are done. Okay, we are not done. When you are ready, I have an abundance of knowledge and experience on getting out of addiction, which you are deeply in the throes of. So, to my family, it's no coincidence that he started putting on a lot of weight when he found out about the atrocities of our family. But trauma has nothing to do with addiction, apparently. So, to my family, what I am going to do, in 4 weeks' time, I'm going to start a page. It will be a closed page, not an open forum, and it will be about the truth of the O'Rourke family. And in that closed forum, I will be unapologetically honest. I had to change my tone in an open forum to be compassionately honest, but the time is up. There are people within my family who have caused significant traumas to other parts of my family, other members of my family, through emotional abuse, physical abuse, and sexual abuse. Now, the only reason I want to speak of these things is because abuse, especially to children, has got to stop. And the one thing that keeps it going is silence. So it's very hard to talk about these things, but talking about them is possibly one of the only ways we can stop it. So you will get an invite to this page, and it's your choice whether you want to accept it or not. But when you find out about the atrocities of our family, I can offer, and so can other members of the family, offer advice and comfort. Because when I found out about the atrocities of our family, it sent me into a deep spiral. Now, the person who informed me of these atrocities, I hated them for 2 years and refused to speak to them. Now, they were possibly the one who could have helped me through, but I resented them for providing me the truth. And that was ugly of me. They provided me the truth. I had no sympathy for what they went through, which was fucking traumatic. I only had sympathy for myself for the fact that they informed me of some terrible stuff. So, I have found great healing in owning up to my shit. Going to people saying, hey, I have stolen money from you to feed a gambling addiction. I have done terrible things to feed my meth addiction. I have lied my ass off to cover the fact that I've been a meth-addled junkie and a gambling junkie. That time when I said I was at work, I was really at the casino. That time I said I was sick, I couldn't go to work because I'd been on the gear for the last 8 days. Now, I have found great healing in that, and I believe there are other members of our family who could also find great healing in that. And if they can't, that's because of their own shame and guilt. Yep, their own shame and guilt. I have no shame anymore. I air my dirty laundry. I apologize to the people that I have abused. Now, 4 weeks' time, I'm going to say, if you have wronged someone in our family in a serious way, an apology to them and severe understanding for the trauma you caused them will cause you great healing and them great healing. Now, if you want to speak to the atrocities you did to your kids and explain to them why you did it, I'd also recommend that that's fantastic advice. I have done some terrible things, and before I get this page up and running, I will name every one of them. It'll be a video, it's coming out in about 3 weeks, called The Worst of Me. But then followed that will be a video called The Best of Me. Following that will be my Truth About O'Rourke, the story about O'Rourke, the Truth About O'Rourke page. That will be a closed forum. The others will be on an open forum. So I recommend getting in touch with me. If you definitely don't want me to say something in that closed forum, I will consider it. But if I feel as though it will cause healing in other people, I'll consider it. But if it's going to cause more healing to others than harm to you, I'll probably still mention it. Okay. So that's about it. Just thinking more. I've copped criticism for chasing my dream. I've copped criticism for the fitness that I have. I've copped criticism for calling my brother out on his hypocrisy and his addiction. If you want to call me out on what I'm doing right now, do it, and I will discuss to you why I do it. But it was funny, the community I'm a part of, a dear friend of mine called me this morning to say, hey, I'm not sure that you've done the right thing by doing this. And I explained what I'd done to her, and at the end of it she was like, right, I see the big picture now. Discussion is the only way we can come to some sort of understanding of each other. And if you're going to not talk to me but talk behind my back, I'm sorry, I can't help. If you have a problem with what I'm doing, please contact me and I will talk to you. God damn it, I'm good looking sometimes. Oh, in that sun, my eyes are amazing. Oh, well, I think I'm good looking. I don't care if you don't. I have a fantastic shirt and a fantastic hat though. So yep, once again, I'm going to try and calm my voice. I'm trying to calm my voice because I'm still feeling a lot of frustration that I'm trying to deal with personally. So call me a dickhead, call me a tosser, back it up. Talk to me about it. I've asked you to, and you're not interested. I've been compassionately honest. I'm about to be unapologetically honest.